Hey guys, it's me Keisha, and I'm here with this week's All Tea All Shade Real Housewives of Potomac Season 9 Reunion Part 1. So the reunion begins with footage of Karen 12 hours after the guilty verdict came back. And production came to her home to see where she was at, how she's feeling. She looked very distraught, disheveled, weary, sad, and she just looked like the weight of the world was literally on her shoulders. They asked her how she felt when the guilty verdict came back, and she says that her heart dropped. She says that she takes full responsibility, and she says that she doesn't really care about anything else except for her children and her family, and she breaks down crying. After she was able to pull herself together, they asked her, does she consider herself to be an alcoholic? And she says that she is not a alcoholic at all. So she's still saying that she does not have a drinking problem. Now, 3 weeks later is when they filmed the reunion, right? And the ladies are backstage and they're all wondering where Karen is because they didn't see a dressing room for her. So they get on stage and let me see. No, this was backstage. Ashley says after seeing the body cam footage of Karen that she feels like they all lied to her. Lied to them about what exactly happened that night. And Wendy feels that Karen slapped her in the face by not answering her calls when she called to check on her, especially since she'd had her back all season. And this is what I want to know. Because I know in cases with, discovery, lawyers have discovery where, they get all their evidence and they have to submit it to the courts. So each lawyer can see what evidence they have, right? So if that was the case, I'm still not understanding why she just didn't take a plea case after seeing that footage. Did they not show her the footage? I'm so confused because I just cannot logically see Karen seeing that footage of herself from that night and not saying, yeah, let me go ahead and just take a plea deal or plead guilty, something. You know what I'm saying? Just to avoid all of this. I know that she fired her counsel after the fact. I don't know why I feel like that lady did not see this footage before that trial date. I feel like she saw that footage in court that day and then after that was found guilty. I don't think that lady saw that footage that whole time. I think that she thought in her mind that she would literally be able to get off. And I really think that that's what her counsel was obviously telling her. You know what I'm saying? Because that would be just irrational thinking that she was going to get off after what we saw. I can't see Ray seeing that footage and not telling her, baby, you got to plead guilty. You got to. Because, of course, he only saw the part where he was at. You know what I'm saying? When he pulled up and the police and all of that type of stuff. Of course, he wasn't there for the car ride and the interrogation room and all of that type of stuff. Like, I don't understand that. I really honestly don't. I really am like, that lady couldn't have seen that footage. She couldn't have. I just don't believe it. Until she says otherwise, and if she does say otherwise, Karen, you ain't an alcoholic. You stuck on stupid. If you thought you was getting off with that. But anywho, all the ladies come out dressed in their whites. Everybody really looked nice. I got to give it to Potomac. I think that this was the best dressed season for a Potomac reunion. I think that all the ladies stepped their game up, especially Giselle, the best she's ever looked in the 9 seasons of this show. Ashley looked really pretty. I didn't like that bath mat on her arms. Kiana loved everything about her look except for the dress, because I mean, I love the dress, don't get me wrong. The dress was spectacular, but once again, it was just too little. She needed to pull it up because her breasts were literally spilling out and you could tell that it was too short. Mia looked really nice. Her makeup was real dry. Wendy looked nice, of course. Love Stacy's look. I just felt like Stacy's makeup be looking a little muddled, and I didn't like her lipstick. The red lipstick still to me wasn't a good choice, but what made it what made it a worse choice was the choice of lip liner, because it was not the same shade as the red lip, and it just looked two-tone, and it just wasn't. And then I hated her wig because there's no parting space in it at all. Oh my god. But anywho, the reunion begins, and no one has spoken to Karen since Christmas. Mind you, she was found guilty December 20th. So everybody spoke to her, for Christmas, but nobody has spoken to her since. Andy announces that the reason why she isn't there is because she checked herself into a private facility, and the ladies applaud her. Wendy, however, begs the question and says, I do find that interesting that she's doing this before her sentencing, and she's wondering, did she do that to look better in the judge's eyes before her, sentencing, and hopefully using this as a way to lessen her sentencing? Mia agrees, and Kiana was like, who wouldn't do that? And Andy and everybody else was like, of course. And Wendy, of course, and Mia was like, of course, we would do it too. And Stacy says that they all should give her grace and just be happy that she is doing it. And I get Wendy posing the question, but it was given op. It was given op. It was given op. And I got more on that in a second. Just a second. So then Andy tells the ladies that Karen filmed a message for them. Karen pops up on the screen. It's obvious that this was filmed during the holidays because she still got them one red flowers that everybody, that red plant that everybody get for Christmas. She's sitting on a white couch in her white cashmere off the shoulder sweater, just looking like a rich bitch. She looked totally different from the previous video, and she just looked like an angel, honey. She just looked like the Grande Dame, all right? And she tells the ladies that she's going to treatment for help with taking antidepressants and alcohol. So she's admitting that she has been mixing the two, which is something that you should not do whatsoever, because you will be out here wilding. Like wilding. Head in the fog. Like it's literally like you on a roller coaster and you just spinning around. Like, that's crazy. She says that she wants to give a special thank you to Giselle, which was, whoa. She said that the note she wrote to her and the flowers that she sent to her really hit home. Giselle tears up. She thanks Kiana. She thanks Jazzy, and she thanks Candace, even though, Candace is no longer on the show. But then, because everybody just sitting there waiting, including Wendy, for her to acknowledge Wendy. And she says, and I want to give a special thanks. And everybody thinking that she going to say to Wendy, she says to Andy, because, he was really supportive of her. And with Giselle, they named her the Grande Dame and everything. And she says that when she returns, she's going to return not as the Grande Dame, but as Karen Huger. And she ends the video. And Wendy is visibly hurt. She tries to act like it doesn't hurt her or bother her, but it's apparent that it does. And she says that she, in fact, did reach out to Karen. And based off the things that Stacy told her, Karen said about her, and the video message that she just saw, that Karen isn't her friend. And all the other ladies is like, oh my God, no, don't say that, no. And so Giselle was like, but you've known that. Why haven't you acknowledged that she had issues with you? Because I've told you. And Wendy was like, I didn't trust you. You know what I'm saying? So here's my thoughts on the Wendy and Karen of it all. I was very shocked that Karen did not acknowledge Wendy at all. She didn't acknowledge Wendy, Mia, Stacy, nor Ashley, right? She didn't acknowledge any of them. Really not surprised about the others, but more so Wendy, because they had a closer relationship over like the last, 2 seasons, right? We all know Karen, and we all know that Karen is a very calculated person, right? And based off how the season ended with her being called out by Stacy for saying that Wendy is self-absorbed and all of this stuff, right? And you could tell that she'd been caught and that she had said those things about Wendy. And it seemed like she was remorseful. Now they cut out the entire scene where after that, she and Wendy had a one-on-one conversation where Wendy said to her that she was very hurt by the things that she was told. It was apparent that in that conversation, she and Karen mend fences, so much so that she invited Karen to go to the White House with her anyway. The invitation was still given out. Now, in present day, during the reunion, Wendy said that she now regrets inviting her. So my thing is, y'all made up. You still had her come to the White House even after all of this stuff happened. So between y'all making up, going to the White House, and now several months later at the reunion, she's not acknowledging you, and you're saying that you did reach out to her and all of this stuff, and that she wasn't, I guess, answering or whatever. I don't see Karen ghosting her and not acknowledging her unless she was told something or found out something. I don't think that this has anything to do with what Stacy told Wendy towards the end of the season, because we know that they made up. We know that they made up. So I'm figuring somebody must have told Karen something that Wendy said about her, or she herself found out something that Wendy said about her, because I just don't see Karen doing that to her unless she'd found something out about Wendy, right? And I'm pretty sure that next season we'll find out what exactly happened and why she did not acknowledge Wendy. But let's also not forget that, yeah, they had gotten a lot closer over like the last 2 seasons, but we're not going to sit up here and pretend like Karen and Wendy did not like each other her first few seasons on the show. They did not get along. It wasn't until Giselle and Robin gave her they ass to kiss that she started building friendships with Karen. She always had a friendship with Candace, but they didn't rock with each other like that. You know what I'm saying? So they relationship always been kind of, yeah, we good now, but I'm ready for you to strike. You know what I'm saying? That's how it gives me. I would always be ready for either one of them to turn on the other. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to really save my judgment on Karen not acknowledging her until we find out the real true tea on why she did it. Now, if she did it just because of something crazy, then I'm going to give it to Karen and say, you need to grow up and this, that, and the third. But until then, because I rocks with Karen, I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt. So, and Giselle talking to Wendy about, I told you from the beginning that she don't mess with you, and the same is said about you. Like, you don't see it for her. You never saw it for Wendy. You was just using her all that time as a number. So you can't say nothing about somebody else, girl. So then we get to their business, Happy Eddie, and how well it's doing. And Giselle then accuses Stacy of biting off Happy Eddie and saying that she met with these people and saying that she want to start her own line because she's a celebrity. Now, Stacy denies this. Stacy is looking like, what are you talking about? But a part of me, when I was looking into her eyes, was giving, how she know? How she know about that? Now, Wendy says that to Stacy, she said, well, I hope you don't do that without talking to me. And my thing is, why does she got to talk to you about if she started cannabis business? Who the hell are you? You don't have the corner on the cannabis business. Did you have to talk to every other person that started a cannabis business? Tamara got her own cannabis business. Did you talk to her? Like, girl, ain't nobody got to run nothing past you, Wendy. Girl, get out of here. I don't care about us being on the same show. I ain't got to talk to you about nothing. Girl, bye. So then, let me ask y'all that. Do you feel like Stacy owes her something if she did start a cannabis line, that she need to come to her and tell her that that's what she's going to do? Because I don't think that she has to do any of that. But y'all let me know how y'all feel down below in the comment section. Kiana then called Stacy out for telling Wendy about the things that Karen said about her once they got into it. And y'all know I said that in my video. I hate that shit. When that, to me, I've said this for years, that is the measure of a friendship. Because if you know all this stuff I done said about a person and you ain't say nothing when me and you was good, and then as soon as me and you have an issue, now you want to go running and telling everything, you was never my friend in the first place. You was waiting. Because if I fall out with somebody, I'm not running and telling the next person what was said in conversations between us when we were cool. That's fake to me. If I was really your friend, I'm still going to keep that between me and you. Because obviously I ain't have no problem with you saying it at that time. You know what I'm saying? So I'm with Kiana on that. I'm so with Kiana on that. And I really do appreciate the way Kiana had Karen's back. I really appreciate that. Really, really did. So Wendy then tells Stacy that Karen told her to be careful with the new woman that's coming into the group because she's really smart and educated. Is that a bad thing? I don't like that's. I don't really see how that's like, ooh, she shaded. Like, I don't. And Wendy told me, I didn't tell you this before because there was really nothing to tell. Like, you could have kept that to me. But Giselle was like, is she? And I'm like, what is Giselle's issue with Stacy? Like, what is going on? Has she picked her new victim? Because that's what it's given. Very much that's what it's given. Because what has Stacy done to Giselle? Nothing. Like everybody else on this show has done nothing to Giselle, and Giselle just decides not to like you. Giselle went a whole season with being quote unquote a normal human being, and it seems like she's slowly but surely going back to Jazzy that we know. So Wendy tells Kiana, to be careful with Karen, because if Karen can mother you, she likes you. And if she sees that you can stand on your own in this group, she's done with you. I don't agree with that. I really honestly do not agree with that at all. At all. At all. If that's the case, her and Candace wouldn't have a relationship. I don't know if what's going on between her and Monique at this point. Are they still close? That doesn't add up to me. I think Karen tries to give these ladies sound advice, which 9 times out of 10 is very good advice. But I don't think it's a mothering thing at all. At all. No, I don't agree with that. I just simply don't, because I don't remember a time when Karen tried to mother Wendy. I don't know. Y'all agree with that or not? Because I don't agree with that. Jazzy and her Delta wings. joined the group, and that dress was a mess. It looked like a whole castle on her shoulders. It was horrible. And this weirdo brought her wedding invitation on the show. Why did you bring that? That was so cringy to me. Andy then brings up the timeline of her relationship with that boy. Y'all already know, if any new T Squad members, I interviewed the baby mama a few months ago, and she gave her full side of the story of the whole situation with Jazzy messing with her kid's father while they were in fact in a relationship. So you guys can check that out. I'll link part 1 at the end of this video, or either down below in the comment section if you have not seen it, because it was a great interview and she spilled all of the tea. Okay. But basically Jazzy got up there and lied and said that she's never been a side chick, and that even his baby mama said they weren't together when she was pregnant. She didn't say that, but okay. I don't see Jazzy coming back next season. I think that she started off strong and then she faded away. We didn't even see her the second half of the season. They gave her 5 minutes on the couch and then it was time for her to skedaddle. So I don't see her coming back at all. And I don't think she needs to come back, to be honest. So Andy asks Ashley about this divorce, and of course at that time it still hadn't been finalized, but she literally just posted yesterday or today that they are finally divorced. She did a whole photo shoot and everything, so congratulations. But she does tell Andy that she is getting child support but no alimony. And she says that she waived the alimony in her prenuptial agreement. And we all know that Stacy is getting alimony and no child support. So Andy then asks Mia what's going on with her and G's divorce, and she says they're in the final stages. And Giselle was like, she lying. She is lying, okay? So before she leaves, Ashley asks Jazzy what happened at Mia's birthday party in Miami. So apparently Mia invited Stacy and Jazzy to her birthday party in Miami. They responded and said they were going to come. They get to Miami. They hit her up. She doesn't respond. They hitting her up all day. They go to the location. Nobody's there. Mia doesn't respond until the next morning. So they were pissed. They never saw her or anything. They had every right to be pissed. They didn't paid for flight and hotel and all of this stuff. And you don't answer, respond, nowhere to be found. You would never, ever, ever have to worry about me again. Ho, don't invite me to shit, okay? Don't invite me to nothing, because I will never, ever show up. Ever. You ain't never got to worry about me. That is so messed up. So disrespectful. And wasting people time. You honestly do owe them hotel and airfare. They deserve that back, because you wasted these people time and money. Okay? I would have slapped them craters out of her face. Girl, don't play with me like that. That is so disrespectful. Now, Mia get up there and says that she didn't know they were coming. And Stacy was like, you are a liar from the depths of hell. And she shows Andy the text messages that he reads out loud, where it states that she told that girl she was coming and Mia responded. They got there at 1 something in the afternoon to Miami, hitting her up. She doesn't respond until 12 a.m. the next day. Girl. Then once she got caught in a lie, Mia then says that she knew that they was coming to dinner, but not to the yacht. Girl, you just said that you didn't even know they was coming, period, and got caught in that lie. This is why they call you Mia Be Lying. That's why Carlos coined you that, because everything that comes out of your mouth is a lie. Like, what is wrong with you, you weirdo? So then Wendy points out how she only invited the 2 of them and didn't invite anybody else on the cast. And I'm like, what Ashley do? What Kiana do? What Wendy do? Like, huh? And Wendy points out that obviously you only feel like you got a good relationship with those two, but then you gon' play them? You would think that you would be trying to keep this relationship good. Like, come on. So Mia starts to fake cry. And I was so happy that Wendy called her out. I was so happy. She was like, anytime your back is against the wall, you then want to start crying to make people feel bad for you. And it's not going to work. And Mia was like, I know I haven't been a good friend to you guys. I've been going through a lot. And everybody was like, girl, we all going through a lot. That don't give you the right to misuse people. Like, come on. So then during the break, Mia goes to Stacy's room and Jazzy is in there with her. And she tells them that she didn't ghost them intentionally. And that she doesn't have the capacity to be a good friend right now. Stacy says it doesn't seem genuine because she didn't say anything to them until they got back to DC after that trip. Like, girl, you kicked it for your birthday and was like, oh, I'll deal with them hoes later. And that's exactly how you treated them. Yeah, no. And so she was like, okay. She leave out the room. I can't do this anymore. And then she go in the room, close the door. Girl. Stop. Even if she is able to push a tear out, I still do not care. Don't care at all. Because you should have came to this reunion fully apologetic because you knew that you were wrong. You had 6, 7, 8 months to prepare for this. And then you still came trying to be the victim. Y'all people are crazy to me. Crazy for that. Like, you did them dirty. And then you the one crying? Make it make sense. Please make it make sense. Girl. Y'all know I really wasn't even seeing it for this reunion once I found out Karen wasn't coming. Andy hyped it up saying that this reunion is even on the level of Bindergate. Based off episode 1, no. It still was entertaining for the most part. It was some funny moments. I'm going to give reunion part 1 a B+. I think that the best part of this reunion is going to be reunion part 2 with the whole TJ and Stacy situation. You all know that it was revealed to me that what he's going to say, spoiler alert, to the guys is that the reason why he didn't come to the reunion is because she didn't pay him the rest of his money to be her boyfriend on the show. That's going to be the explosive, big, jaw-dropping moment. So we shall see if that is in fact true. And if it is, I am going to stop, drop, and roll. Baby. Okay. So y'all let me know what y'all thought about reunion part 1 down below in the comments section. Please make sure to thumbs up this video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on your post notifications so you know when my videos drop. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.